All right, beautiful. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit about EFT, and I know some of you have probably experienced it before, but this is going to be recorded and put in the group, and so there may be some people who are not aware. And so I am going to look at my notes to make sure that I touch on some of the things that I want to make sure that I cover. So if I'm looking down, it's because I didn't want to take the time to type this up and stick it on my screen. All right. So, one of the things I want you to understand about the brain is that one side of your brain works on the intellect and one side works on creativity. And you probably know that, right? And in the middle um, sits the place where there's like basically a flashing set point between those two hemispheres. Okay. The right and the left. So if there is conflict between the emotion and the intellect, the emotion always wins, always. So, in between those two hemispheres, there's the amygdala, which is the fight, flight, and freeze. And I'm sure you've heard of that too before, right? So, what it's doing is when there's a conflict between these two hemispheres, it starts saying, well, wait a minute, is this going to hurt me or kill me? Whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And over time of doing something or experiencing something on a continuous basis, it actually creates a learned behavior. So it starts learning what you can survive and what you can't, right? And so it will constantly be putting you into this fight, flight, and freeze. Oh, we lost Christine. She must be taking care of her grandson. Um, so over time, accumulated stress factors like a pressure cooker will actually start the stress of these two parts of our brain fighting against each other. And then EFD helps reduce that fight, flight, and freeze. And we've talked a little bit about it when it comes to food. If you're in the fight, flight, and freeze, your body's sending all of its energy to your extremities and not to your stomach where all the digestion's taking place. So everything stops. And that's why when you're stressed and you're eating on the run and everything like that, that you don't get satisfied partially, and you start craving other things because it's just sitting there and it's not digesting. And so you have to, we talked the other day about you have to do some deep breathing and things like that before you eat because you want to calm the inside down, right? For your digestion. But we want to do that for everything, right? So one of the things that EFT is kind of a lot of people refer to it as like acupuncture without the needles. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tapping on meridian points, and I'm going to show you what they are before we get started. But the it's a meridian-based relaxation technique that can decrease anxiety. It can increase your mind-body awareness. It can help with your cognitive shifts. And you can add so much to do with this depending on what you're talking through in EFT. And so you can actually use this at any time. So, like, say, we're going to work today on this particular craving, right? And so, what you can do is if you know you're going to be in a place where this might come up, this particular craving might come up, you can do a little bit of tapping beforehand. And then, if you notice, like when you're um, let's say you go to a gathering and you know there's going to be something there that you might be a little bit more inclined to eat that maybe you feel like your body doesn't do well with it, then you can go ahead and do another tapping session on that before you go. So you can use tapping in so many different places. You could even, like, if you go to a party at somebody's house or something, and you walk and you look and you think, holy crap, the stuff that they've got there that I know my body's going to be hurting tomorrow. I don't want to do it. You can go to the bathroom, sit in a stall, or sit in there and do some tapping on it. Because tapping is very powerful and it works very quickly as long as you know how to do it. So we're going to do a little bit of tapping, and let's see, let me make sure I got my notes here. So what we will be doing is, let me show you the tapping points first, and then let me find my uh, hold on a second. Um, okay. All right. So our tapping points, let me take off my glasses because it's easier for me to do it. So the tapping points are right here, like right above the eyebrow, right here at the nose. And you can use these two fingers, you can use one finger, but I usually use two. I don't know why, but I do. So you just tap, and that's the tapping, right? And then you go to the side of your eyebrow. That's point two. And then under the eye, go up a little bit higher, Raina, like under the eye where that cheekbone is. There you go. Yeah, perfect. And then under the nose, on the chin, kind of in that little crease there between the chin and your lip, that crease. And then you're going to do the collarbone under your arm. So it's like not your armpit, but right below that. And then there's the top of your head. And then we're going to add in another one that is the gamut point right here. It's between the pinky knuckle and the next and the ring finger knuckle. You're going to tap right there. Okay. And then when we first start, we're going to be tapping on the karate chop point, which is here. And so when we're tapping on that, we're going to be saying a phrase that's going to be over and over and over again for just a little bit. And so that one will be kind of similar when no matter what you're doing. And I'll explain that in just a minute. But when you're doing and there's actually like other tapping points on your fingers and different things like that, but we're not going to do that. These will be perfect for what we're going to do. So before we get started, I want you to, if you have a piece of paper to write on, I see, got to put my glasses back on to find the paper. So, what I want you to do with this paper is we're going to start with, before we ever start on anything, we're going to kind of rate where we are as far as the craving is. So, you're going to give it a number between 0 and 10. 0 to 1 means, I feel like having a piece of cake, or, it doesn't really matter. That would be 0 to 1, right? This means I'm not craving that cake at all, right? If a piece of cake was sitting in front of you. So your licorice. And what is it that you ladies have?
Peanuts. Oh, I didn't bring
Peanuts.
it with me.
Yeah, go get your
Uh,
peanuts. Well,
okay.
if you don't want to, you can just imagine them, but sometimes it helps better
Uh,
to
See
do a
him.
little bit
All right.
more. Yeah.
Let me run and get him.
Okay. And what have you got, Christine?
Mine is bread.
Bread. I figured as much. I know you. So 0 to 1 is, I could really, it doesn't matter if I have it or not. It can sit there and it won't bother me. But
Mhm.
10 means I desperately need that right now. As soon as I smell it, as soon as I see it, I gotta have it. So rate where you are with your craving right now.
I want to eat him right now.
Don't eat them yet.
Little nib has been sitting in front of me this whole time, and I've been eyeballing it, but it's still sitting there.
All right. So what number I want you to each one tell me what number you're at on the craving scale.
I gave my little nib a 6.
6. Okay. And Christine?
2. I haven't had any since September, so it's not too bad.
Okay. All right. Is there's not
I'm
anything that calls your name more?
No, not
Okay.
really.
All right. Good. All right, Raina, where
I'm
are you?
going with a 6 as well.
All right. Well, I say when I did this the first time, it was 10.
It was the water, drinking the water, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, drinking the water makes a big difference. And that's why I didn't even think to say anything about it yesterday. So I thought, oh, I'm going in there and I'm posting about it today. So maybe they'll drink plenty of water. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll do a tapping sequence and then you will rate it to see where that number is then. Because what we want to do is we want to get the number lower and we want to try to get it down to a 2. And then if it gets lower, great. If not, then 2 is still good. And then you can do this again, right? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So I want you to have your item there with you. And what I want you to do before you even take a bite of it, I want you to just kind of imagine that you're eating it and what normally shows up in your body. Can you come up with that? Christine, I
Uh,
see you shaking your head. So what would your answer be, honey?
Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. I was pressing the press. And so when I think about bread and when I love to eat it, it's just got that nice earthy, it just reminds me of my grandmother, just that warm comfort feeling.
Okay. All right. So
I
do
love
you
all the
feel it
different
in any
textures.
particular part of your body that you feel that in more than anywhere else?
Oh gosh. No, I guess it's just the flavors just bring back lots of great memories. So the bakery, of my grandmother, of everything.
So it's the smell and everything though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ruthie?
Yeah, for me, licorice is chewy, so it's got that chew feel to it, and so that is satisfying, like more than a piece of chocolate, because chocolate just kind of melts.
Mm-hmm.
Licorice doesn't really melt. And then I think the combination of the sweet and the spicy of the anisette, I don't know why that flavor is satisfying to me, but it is. Like, I can't remember as a kid having anything like that, but I don't know. It does something.
Okay. So if you were to imagine, if you close your eyes and you imagined, and you could do this too, Raina, if it's not coming up for you, just imagine that you eat that and there's a sensation in your body. Is there a sensation in a certain place in your body?
It's like warm in my tummy area.
Okay. All right. And Raina?
I have Planters dry roasted, honey roasted peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that combination of a little salt, a lot of sweet, and I like that crunch
Mm-hmm.
and that sweetness, nuttiness. I was trying to think, where do I feel it other than in my mouth? Um, Maybe in my head. I just feel like this happiness, I guess.
Okay.
And maybe it's something, maybe like I get like maybe kind of a sugar rush type of thing.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right, cool. So now I want you to go ahead and let me look at I created a script for this. Let me make sure I'm on here. Hold on a second. So everything that, every time you start doing this, let me make sure I've got this in the right place. Hold on a second. Okay, you're always going to have a setup statement, which is the karate chop point, okay? And it always starts with even though. So for this, I've put even though this food on my tongue, which you can when you're doing it and saying it for yourself, um, you can put the name of your food in there because I knew everybody was going to have something different, so I can't do everybody's name of their food, but you can. And so what I'm going to have you do is just follow along with me. So to start with, we'll do a little practice thing, okay? So Let me look at my notes here, make sure I'm covering everything. All right, so let's just practice. We're just going to do this. So you're just going to tap your karate chop point, okay? Just tap on it. And you say, even though
Even though
I have this this craving of,
I have this craving. I'm sorry, I must also say it out loud. Sorry. Let me put you
you
on
can
speaker.
say it out loud, but if you
Okay.
want to, it doesn't matter. Uh, so the craving of whatever the item is, and I feel this craving in my body, and then you state where you saw that felt that craving. I still want to deeply and completely accept myself. Okay. So you see what the process is? So every time you do this, it's going to start with even though, and then if you're doing it on a craving, you're going to say, even though this craving is driving me like shit, or whatever you want to say, you just make your statement. You can identify the item, or you could even just say sweets. You can say salty foods. You can say whatever you want to because your mind and your body is going to understand. Make sense? And then after we do that, they will do that 3 times. And then we'll start tapping on the meridian points that I showed you a moment ago. Make sense? Okay, so we're going to do it for real now. This one's not a practice. This is the real deal. Got it? All right, I need to. There's Christine. I was looking for her. Are you able to do that? I thought your grandson was sitting with you for a minute, so you're able to?
Yes, we moved to the couch. He's just laying on me.
Okay, cool.
I'm
All
good.
right.
Both hands were good.
Okay, good. All right. So we're going to start again, and this time I'm going to tell you again what to say. Just repeat along with me, okay? And we're going to do this part 3 times. All right, so go ahead and start with your karate chop. Even though I feel this food on my tongue, I can taste its sweetness, saltiness, and my mouth is watering. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though my stomach is tightening with desire and my mind is racing with thoughts of having more, I choose to feel calm and in control. Even though I can feel this craving in my whole body, not just my stomach, not just my head, my racing heart, my tense muscles, my urgent need, I acknowledge these sensations and know they will pass. Now, I want you, before we go to the next 2 taps, I want you to go ahead and take a little taste of your item. You good, Christine? Okay, cool. All right. So once again, even though I feel this food on my tongue and can taste its sweetness, saltiness, spiciness, and my mouth is watering, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though my stomach is tightening with desire and my mind is racing with thoughts of having more, I choose to feel calm and in control. Even though I can feel this craving in my whole body, my racing heart, my tense muscles, my urgent need, I acknowledge these sensations and know they will pass. Even though I feel this food on my tongue, can taste its sweetness, saltiness, and my mouth is watering, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though my stomach is tightening with desire and my mind is racing with thoughts of having more, I choose to feel calm and in control. Even though I can feel this craving in my whole body, my racing heart, my tense muscles, my urgent need, I acknowledge these sensations and know they will pass. All right, now we're going to start with the regular tapping. And so just follow along. And I've got my notes up here, so hopefully you can follow along. And I'll try to see if I can make sure you are. So if I'm going too fast, just let me know, okay? So we're going to start tapping. This intense taste on my tongue, my mouth watering. Go to the side, Raina. My mouth watering automatically. The texture against my teeth. Raina, you move on. You keep your eyes open so you can keep track. The tightness in my stomach. My heart beating faster. My hands wanting to reach for more. The restless energy in my body. This urgent physical need. The tension in my jaw. These familiar sensations taking over. The taste. The comfort. The memories. All the things that make me love this item. Physically here right now. These familiar feelings and sensations taking over. Now we're going to do it again with a different script. I notice how my body responds. The way my mind races with wanting. This pattern is so familiar. The taste triggering old habits. My stomach clenching with desire. My breath getting shallow. The rush of urgent need. These physical symptoms are just sensations that are forming. I can observe them without acting. And we're going to add the hand in. The temporary feelings. All right. I notice these sensations changing. The taste is becoming less intense. My mouth isn't watering as much. My stomach is feeling calmer. My breath is getting deeper. The urgency is fading. I'm feeling more centered, more in control, more aware of my choices. These cravings are losing their power. I'm feeling more centered, more in control, more aware of my choices. These cravings, these cravings these crazy cravings are beginning to lose all their power. I notice something different now. This taste isn't as amazing as I remembered. It's just a sensation, nothing more. My body feels more relaxed. My mind is clearer. I can taste it without needing more. It's lost its special power. I'm surprised how ordinary it seems. My body feels satisfied and calm. I am in charge, not the craving. I am in charge, not the craving. My body feels satisfied and calm. So calm. I'm surprised how ordinary it seems. My body feels satisfied and calm. I'm in charge, not the craving. Now, taking a deep breath, take another bite. All right. So, taking another taste now. Noticing how different it feels. It's just food, nothing more. No urgency, no overwhelming desire. My body stays calm and centered. My body stays clear and focused. I'm surprised how ordinary it tastes. So different from what I imagined. I can take it or leave it. I am in complete control. I am in complete control. I am in complete control. Even though I can still taste this food in my mouth, I notice how different it feels now. The overwhelming desire has faded. My body stays calm. My mind stays clear. And I'm surprised to notice it doesn't even taste as good as I remembered. I choose what I eat consciously and calmly. And this food no longer has any special power over me. I am in charge of my choices, and I choose what truly serves my well-being. Okay, go ahead and take in a nice deep breath in and let it out. Now get your paper and rate it again between 0 and 10. right. So go ahead and tell me where you're at. Ruthie, you want to go first?
Um, that was weird.
What?
Now I understand why everybody doesn't like black licorice because that second bite, I didn't like it either. I was like, how have I liked this all my life?
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Yeah.
I mean, I can still, I was like, meh, and there's not enough water to rinse it out of my mouth now.
So I would guess that takes you down to what?
I put two because
Okay.
the bag's still sitting there, but so that's a mental thing, right? But
Okay.
yeah,
So you're to a
I don't know if
two.
you saw me make a face,
I
but I
did.
did.
I did. All right, Raina.
First I looked at it and I said, I can't even say two. And then I was like one, and I said maybe one and a half.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I don't even think, yeah, like a one. And like the first time I ate it, I thought, wow, what's going on? It's not as sweet. Like what's happening? And then the second time I was like, I kind of made a face too. It's like had like not that much taste, not that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the punch that I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
ah,
So how about you, Christine?
I'm at a zero. First of all, my daughter has this gross store-bought bread, so I was like, but I was able to tolerate it the first time. By the second time, I didn't even want to taste it.
Yeah. Isn't that powerful?
Yeah, it's very
And
cool.
yeah, and you can use tapping in that way for just about anything. And the first time I ever did this, I think I shared it with you guys that it was a woman who was so addicted to chocolate that if she had a Hershey Kiss, she'd eat the whole damn bag. And so she came, it was when she came to my house and we were doing this in person. And I told her, I said, bring a Hershey's Kiss. She said, I should have bring a bunch of them. I said, no, you'll be fine. Just bring one. So she just took a little bite. And then the second time she took a bite and it was getting better, right? But the third time we did it, she had this look on her face and she said, all I taste is wax. And I said, the wax was there all the time, baby. It's just the chocolate covered it up. Now you can taste what's really there. And so it's disconnecting from that. Most of us have those cravings. Like each one of you there was an emotional thing that was going on about it, right? Nobody said, I just love the taste. It was, well, it made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. It took me back to when I was a kid. And Ruthie, you said you didn't really know where yours come from, but it comforted you, right? And so it's the comfort that you're looking for, not that food item, right? So now we've taken that rush of that food item away. And we can do one more tapping sequence to see if we can get both of you down to a zero. And then, you can, like I said, this tapping sequence, the only thing you have to remember is that you start on the karate chop and it's even though I, whatever it is, still love, honor, and respect myself. And, it can be whatever you want to say with that. I usually say love, honor, respect myself. And this time, what did I have? Deeply and completely accept myself. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is you're letting your brain know that even though you feel all that stuff, it's okay. You got this. You still love yourself, right? And then you're going to actually poke fun at the things that are going on in your mind. Like we didn't start out with how wonderful you were doing. We were talking about all the taste and all the things that were drawing you to it, right? So you're going to do the same thing. Anytime you're doing this on your own, it's going to start out with your karate chop. Even though I love this, I still love and respect myself. I'm okay. I still love myself. And just say that, and you do 3 rounds of that, right? And you can just make up whatever, right? As long as you're saying that part that it's, even though this, I still love, honor, respect myself, still love and deeply and completely accept myself, whatever those phrases, but make sure that those two things are there, right? And then when you start tapping on it, you're going to be tapping about all the things that come up in your mind that are a problem. So what was it? I said, you could taste the intensity on your tongue. It makes tightness in your stomach. So you can talk about the things that it does and what, like that, just seeing it makes my mouth water. It could be all those things because you're going to start out talking about all the things that this craving shows up and what it does to your body, right? And then you're going to be connecting because that's the physical sensations is to start with. And then then when we do the second round, it's about the mind body connection. So it's like noticing how my body responds, the pattern feels familiar, my breathing's getting shallow, that kind of thing. Then the third one is shifting our awareness. That's when we start saying we're noticing that it's beginning to change. The taste is beginning a little less intense. Our mouth's not watering as much. We feel a little more in control. And then the fourth round is like a new perspective. That's when you start talking about how different things are, right? And I know when the first time I ever did tapping, I really thought that that's where we'd start. But no, no, what we're doing is we're waking up the brain to say, yes, this is what's going on right now, and then we're changing it. And so then the fifth one is the integration. So we're like we take another taste, and then we notice the difference of how it feels and everything. And then we end with the karate chop, where even though I can still taste this food, I know how different it feels emotionally, physically, and you just work with that, right? So you can just make up almost anything. So if you were at someone's house and they were trying to tempt you with something, you could excuse yourself, go to the bathroom, tap a little bit, and come out and be fine. Make sense? All right. So do you guys want to go ahead and tap one more sequence, see if we can get you down to zero? Yes? All right. Beautiful.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to do this again. And, at any point, if you're wanting to do this and you're having a problem with coming up with the script, but I think you'll be fine. But if you do, then, you can shoot me a message and hopefully I can see it and maybe help you with some of it. But if you'll just remember how it starts, and even if you don't get completely like shifting the awareness, the new perspective, it's talk about the thing that's going on that you don't like. And then at the end, you're talking about this is not bothering me anymore. I'm good. As long as you're doing it that way, you'll be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start with the karate chop. Even though I feel this food on my tongue, can taste its sweetness, saltiness, and my mouth is watering, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though my stomach is tightening with desire, and my mind is racing with thoughts of having more. I choose to feel calm and in control, even though I can feel this craving in my whole body, my racing heart, my tense muscles, my urgent need. I acknowledge these sensations and know they will pass. Even though I feel this food on my tongue, can taste its sweetness, saltiness, and my mouth is watering, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my stomach is tightening with desire and my mind is racing with thoughts of having more, I choose to feel calm and in control. Even though I can feel this craving in my whole body, my racing heart, my tense muscles, my urgent need. I acknowledge these sensations and know they will pass. Even though I feel this food on my tongue, can taste its sweetness, saltiness, and my mouth is watering, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my stomach is tightening with desire and my mind is racing with thoughts of having more, I choose to feel calm and in control, even though I can feel this craving in my whole body, my racing heart, my tense muscles, my urgent need. I acknowledge these sensations and know they will pass. Now go ahead and take a bite of your item. You don't have to, you can imagine it. That is too funny. All right, so let's see. I'm just trying to make sure everybody's good. All right, so we're going to start the first round. So before we do, just go ahead and take in a nice deep breath. And then let's begin. This intense taste on my tongue, my mouth watering automatically, the texture against my teeth, this tightness in my stomach, my heart beating faster, my hands wanting to reach for more, this restless energy in my body, this urgent physical need, this tension in my jaw, these familiar sensations taking over. I notice how my body responds, the way my mind races with wanting. This pattern is so familiar. The taste triggering old habits, my stomach clenching with desire, my breathing getting shallow, this rush of urgent need. These physical sensations are just information. I can observe them without acting. They're just temporary feelings. I notice these sensations changing. The taste is becoming less intense. My mouth isn't watering as much. My stomach is feeling calmer. My breathing is getting deeper. The urgency is fading. I'm feeling more centered, more in control, more aware of my choices. These cravings are losing all their power. My breathing is getting deeper. The urgency is fading. I'm feeling more centered, more in control, more aware of my choices, even more aware of my choices, more in control. These cravings are losing their power. I'm more in control, more in control. I notice something different now. This taste isn't as amazing as I remembered. It's just a sensation, nothing more. My body feels more relaxed. My mind is clearer. I can taste it without needing more. It's lost its special power. I'm surprised how ordinary it seems. My body feels satisfied and calm. I'm in charge, not the craving. I'm surprised how ordinary it seems. My body now feels satisfied and calm. I'm in charge. I'm in charge, not the craving. Now you can either take another taste or you can imagine it. How are you on that, Raina? You want to take another taste?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay.
Oops.
All right, let's tap on it.
Feel it.
Taking another taste now. Noticing how different it feels. It's just food. Nothing more. No urgency. No overwhelming desire. My body stays calm and centered. My mind stays clear and focused. I'm surprised how ordinary it tastes. So different from what I imagined. I can take it or leave it. I am in complete control. I am in complete control. Now the karate chop. Even though I can still taste this food, I notice how different it feels now. The overwhelming desire has completely faded. My body stays calm. My mind stays clear. And I'm surprised to notice it doesn't even taste as good as I remember. I choose what I eat consciously and calmly, and this food no longer has any special power over me. I am in charge of my choices and choose what truly serves my well-being. Go ahead and take in a nice deep breath and release. All right. So where are we at now, ladies?
00. That did not taste good at all.
Oh,
I
I love
still
it.
taste it in my mouth. I do not. I don't know what happened, but that's not the same thing I was eating before.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruthie, how about you?
I didn't even want to taste it again. So yeah, I'm at 0. It's sitting here and I'm like, man, yeah, they're there. They're like, they're not bothering me at all. So
All right. Perfect. Perfect. So one of the things is if you ever feel like it's slipping and that you're suddenly feeling a little bit of, well, maybe I'm going to try it again because I remember it being good. You know how we can do that to ourselves, right? If you ever start
Mm-hmm.
feeling that, just go ahead and tap without the item and imagine the item. and see if you can get it back down to a zero. But before you do anything, remember you rate to see what the number is, because without it, you really don't know how far you've come down. Because we might have thought that if we didn't do the number thing, the last time we might have thought that was it, right? But it really wasn't. We needed to do one more round to get it down to zero, right? So
Yep,
powerful stuff, right?
It
it is.
is.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And this is going to be posted in the group, so you can actually take it and do it again if you want to. But I think you guys will do perfectly fine with just creating your scripts, because there's times that I do this to where I'm making it up while I'm sitting there going, what is it? What's going on? What do I need? And so you could even do it on, like, if you're wanting to be a person that's more physically active and you're not being physically active, you can do it instead of food. It's even though I'm not being as active as I want to be, I still love and honor myself, right? You do the whole thing. And then you talk about, well, even though I would rather sleep, even though I'm afraid I'm going to get sore, whatever those things are that are preventing it, you would talk about those things, right? And then you would flip it around with all the benefits of it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was laughing because I'm like, have you been in my head? Yeah, man.
I've been in mine. So, anyway, like, what I'm really getting at is no matter what's going on in your life, you can use tapping to get through it very
And it's
easily.
what, 3 rounds you said to do?
What you
Or
do
5?
is the karate chop is 3 rounds of
Hmm.
that. The
Yep.
other, it's like there's just like three phases you're going through where you're, well,
Hmm.
really only, yeah, because it would be you're talking about how it is for you now, and then you're talking about how you want it to be, and then you're doing the very end karate chop where you're saying it's so much better now and I still love and honor
Mm.
myself, right? Um,
Okay.
and then you just make sure that you check the number beforehand. And when I'm doing it, it varies how long it's going to take each time. And as long as you're doing the points. And so what I do when I even on that, I exhausted the stuff I had written up. So then I would repeat some stuff, that the ones that meant something to me. So you can even say, if it's like it's working out and you're talking about how much you're going to do now and how it's so much easier, you could even say it's getting easier every day. And then you can say it's even easier and easier. You don't have to be saying a whole bunch of stuff. You can keep repeating some phrases that coincide with what you're trying to do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right.
Great.
Yay.
Thank
Well,
you for this.
my pleasure. I'm so glad you guys were be able to be here and take part in this, because it's fun. I love to do it. And so maybe we can do another one at some point if there's something else that you guys want to work on. We can play with it and you can get a little bit more accustomed to how it works.
Okay.
Huh?
I could do one for night sweats. Go for night
Well, you can
sweats.
play with that and try.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
All right. So once again, thank you guys. And make sure, like, you were supposed to drink a lot of water prior to this. You want to
Mhm.
continue to be drinking a lot of water even into tomorrow, because we want all of this energy, because we're creating this energy flow in us
Okay.
and we want it to be moving through our body. And if you're not drinking enough water, it just kind of like fizzles out and dies.
Okay.
Makes sense? So
Yep.
we want to keep that flow going. So drink plenty of water tomorrow. Usually it's like for 24 hours, you drink plenty of water, and then you should be good.
All righty.
All right. Sounds good. Thank
All
you so much.
right. My pleasure. Have an amazing evening.
You
All
too,
right,
guys.
you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.